Hope you're all doing well out there. In this video, I want to share some information with parents. Um, while you're dealing with your kids, you're all stuck at home right now in these crazy, chaotic, uncertain times. We're all together with all of our kiddos in small spaces. So I want to pass on some tools and ideas for you to help you out. So something we work on a lot in pre-K is social skills. In fact, that's what we mostly work on with our little kiddos, the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And one thing we practice specifically is conflict resolution, and we practice that a lot. So things that we talk about are what to do if someone takes your toy, what to do if someone pushes you down, and what to do if you're the person taking the toy and if you're the person who pushed someone down. So we talk about those kinds of things all the time. So if your child has siblings or friends or family, you're likely stuck with them right now and spending a lot of time together. So they're likely having some conflict. So I want to share some ideas that might help them to solve their conflicts, that might help you, to help them solve their conflicts and eventually reduce the number of conflicts they're having and how many you have to intervene with, thus keeping everyone's sanity during this time. So the first thing to remember when you're thinking about this stuff is 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, and sometimes some 6 and 7-year-olds, they mainly focus on themselves and their own wants and needs. That's just all they have the capacity to do right now. They're focusing on what they want, what they need, and how to get that. And they don't think about how their actions affect others. They don't realize what the consequences will be. They don't really know that there are consequences. They're still figuring that out. So if they want the toy that someone else has, they go and take it. If they want to knock down the really awesome tower that their friend has built that they see, they go and knock it down. And they don't understand that that's going to make that person sad when they take their toy away, or that's going to make that person sad when they knock down the really awesome castle that they just built. So we have to teach them and model for them and practice and show them how their actions will affect others. So let's think about a scenario here. So let's think about brother and sister. So brother and sister are playing with cars, and each of them has a set that they're playing with. So then brother decides he wants one of sister's cars. So he reaches over and he takes it. So immediately sister bursts into a meltdown. And she tries to take it back from brother, and then brother hits sister because he doesn't want her taking the car away from him. And then sister cries even louder. The outburst, the meltdown just escalates. And then brother's angry, sister's angry, you're angry, and everybody's angry. There's a whole lot of chaos and craziness. So let's talk about what to do in that situation. So the first step is to remain calm. Be the calm in their chaos. And this can be really, really hard. It takes a lot of self-reflection and a lot of self-restraint because it's frustrating when they're just yelling at each other. And you just want them to play. You just want them to get along. You just need some peace and quiet while you try to do things you need to do. So it's really easy to react with anger and frustration too. But what we really need to do is remain calm. Be the calm in their chaos. And so remember that they don't have the skills to handle this, but you do. You're the adult. You can manage your emotions. You know what to do in these scenarios, but they don't. They can't do that yet. And so we want to give them those skills. And to them, this is the end of their world. To you, it's no big deal. They took a toy. You've got others, But it is the end of the world. It is a big deal. That was sister's car. She needs that car to play with. But brother needs that car too so he can play with it. So it is a big deal to them. So remember that too. So stay calm. Be the calm in their chaos. And then help them calm down. You cannot reason with someone who is screaming. You cannot reason with someone who is angry and frustrated. And that goes for little kids at this age all the way up through adults. You just can't. You can't talk to someone and reason with someone who is in that kind of emotional state. So we need to get them to calm down. So one thing that I like to do with my kids in the classroom is to get them to breathe. And we can say, breathe, breathe. You need to calm down. You need to breathe. But that's not really going to help them. We need to actually show them and model for them what to do. So what I like to do is hold up one finger and tell them there's a flower on the top of my finger. And let's smell the flower. And then blow it away. And you might need to do that again and tell them, we need to take some deep breaths. Let's smell the flower and blow it away. Let's get our bodies calm. Let's calm down. Let's smell that flower. Blow it away. Good. Now we're calm. And I do this all the time. And I tell my kids in the classroom sometimes, I need a moment to calm my body. Do you want to breathe with me? And I suggest that to them. And sometimes they even notice that I'm starting to get worked up and frustrated. And they say, Miss Bingham, do you need to take a breath? And so we'll do that. We'll put a flower on our finger and we'll smell it and we'll blow it away until we're all calm and settled. And it works really well. So help them breathe, have them smell that flower and blow it away, and then we can move forward. So the next we want to talk it out. Now that everybody's calm, you're calm, the kids are calm, let's talk it out. Ask each one of them to tell you what happened. So, brother, what happened? Let him have his time to say what he needs to say and tell you what happened. Then the same thing. Sister, can you tell me what happened? And let both of them share, because even just talking it out and getting out, that's going to help them calm down and going to help them understand each other's perspective. And in this time when they're talking, try not to give them any interruptions or intervene or give them directions. Let them talk. Let them get it out. Take a moment to process for yourself what happened, and then you can start giving them the directions and the interventions. So after they have talked it out, give them the tools. We want them to use their words in these situations. So start with sister and say, Sister, did you like when brother took the car from you? And likely she'll say no. And you'll say, well, how did you feel about that? How did that make you feel? Because we really want to acknowledge those feelings. We want the other person to see, we want brother to see that sister's feelings got hurt. It made her sad. It made her angry. However she's feeling. We want her to vocalize that so she can understand what she's feeling. And we want her to vocalize that so that brother can see what she's feeling. So, did you like it when brother took your car? How did that make you feel? Well, tell him that. Tell him, I don't like that you took my car. It made me angry. And then have her say that to them. Practice those words. Have her say that to brother. I didn't like that you took my car. That made me feel angry. And then tell her, next time someone takes something from you, tell them, that's mine. Give it back. Because we want her to know that you have to use your words to tell people what's going on. Brother didn't know you wanted the car back. He just knew you were screaming. And so you have to say, that's mine. You have to tell him what you want. Tell him, that's my car. Give it back. And have her practice that. Have her tell him that in the moment. Because we want her to use the words. Having the emotional outburst does not solve the problem. But telling brother what the problem is can help solve the problem. And you may want to just tell sister, it's not a big deal. Just give him the car. You have other cars. You're not even playing with that one. Just give him the car. But that's not how the world works. And so we have to keep in mind we're teaching them life skills. We're keeping the bigger picture in mind. So if somebody wants my car, they can't just come take it, right? And they may say, well, it's in the driveway. You're not even using it. It's parked. You're not using it. But that's not how it works. It's my car. They can't have it. So it's the same thing for sister. That's her car. She's playing with it. You can't have it. Okay? So remind brother that too. And then tell him, so then go to brother and say, brother, why did you take sister's car? And so he'll probably tell you, because I wanted it. I need that car so I can drive it with these cars. Or, whatever his reason is. And that's valid. It's valid for him to want that. But we have to give him the tools to do it the right way, to get the car the right way. So remind him, well, it's okay to want the car, but you have to ask for it. If you want something, you have to ask for it. So sister was playing with that car. Next time you want something, say, can I have that? So practice that. Have him say, sister, can I have that car? To give him that practice. He has to use his words too. Sister just thinks he's being mean. And taking his car. So he has to say, I want that car. And he's probably not taking the car from her just to get sister to scream. Now he might be. Sometimes brothers and sisters do that. But likely he just wants to play with the car. And so he needs to tell sister that. Can I have that car? I want to play with it. But remember, sister can say no. If someone comes to me and says, "Can I have your car?" I can say yes. I can say no. It's my car. I can totally say no and not give them my car. So sister can too. Sister can say no. I'm playing with it. But maybe to help brother feel better, well, you could say, sister, can brother play with it when you're finished? Or is there another car that brother can have? So think of other solutions to help brother feel better about that. But sometimes the answer is no, and sometimes we have to deal with no. So sister, you can ask sister, well, is there another car that he can have? And she may say no, I need all my cars, and that's okay. That's valid. Sometimes we need to deal with no being an answer, and that's okay. So remember that we're teaching them the life skills. Tell sister to tell brother, I didn't like that. That made me feel angry. And remind her, tell him, using your words, tell him, that's mine, give it back. And then for brother, have him ask. It's okay to want the car, but you have to ask first. Sister, can I have that car? And then go from there. So this will take practice. It is not a one and done thing. It's going to take so much practice. So keep that in mind. It's not a quick fix. It's not something simple that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take practice. These conversations have to go over and over and over and over. Like, this is a daily thing in the classroom. And it is a little difficult to keep that patience and remain calm in all of it when you've said the same thing over and over and over, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to work. Eventually they're going to be able to start using their words. They're going to think about how their actions are going to affect the other one. So just keep doing it. Just keep going. It's going to take practice, but you can do it. And one more thing, I don't make kids in my classroom say I'm sorry. Making a child say I'm sorry makes them think that sorry fixes everything, and it just doesn't. There are times when sorry is just not enough. It's not okay. Making a kid say I'm sorry teaches them nothing about how their actions affect others. So in that scenario, we could have said, brother, give the car back and tell sister you're sorry. Or maybe we didn't know that brother had taken it, and we think sister's taken the car, and we say, sister, don't you take that car. Give it back to him and tell your brother I'm sorry. And then we don't know what's going on inside of them. They don't know what's going on inside of them. Brother doesn't know about sister's feelings, and sister doesn't know about brother's feelings. So we've just missed out on a great learning opportunity to talk about how our actions affect others. So I don't make them say I'm sorry, and it's not teaching them anything when we do. And then we're also, if they may not be sorry about what they've done. So if we're forcing them to say I'm sorry, we're teaching them it's okay to say things they don't mean, and that's not what we want either. So we want them to be genuine in the way that they're dealing with this situation. So instead, tell brother, you took sister's car and that made her feel sad. That made her feel angry. That hurt her heart. You hurt her heart, and we need to fix that. So you need to help her heart feel better. Let's ask her, how can I make you feel better? So that's going to help brother to think about, wow, I did something that made sister not feel good, and now I need to help her feel better. So we're giving him skills to be more empathetic too. So have him ask, sister, how can I make you feel better? And then this is probably where you'll need to step in and give some suggestions. So you could say, well, you could give the car back. Would giving the car back help? Or sister, do you need a hug? Do you need a high five? Do you want brother to play with you? Would you like for brother to draw you a picture maybe? What will help you feel better? Or are you going to be okay without anything else? And it's okay for her to choose whatever, okay? And then hopefully when you're doing this will lead to them saying, I'm sorry on their own. They'll begin to see how their actions are affecting someone else. I've hurt her feelings. That's really not good, And so then they'll start to feel that inside too. Like, I'm sorry that I made you angry or I made you sad. I don't want to make you sad. And so then they might say, I'm sorry, sister. And when they do that, that's when their apology is genuine. And sorry, I got cut off. So as I was saying, the more we have these conversations, hopefully, eventually the kids will start to take it upon themselves to say, I'm sorry. It'll be a genuine response instead of something that we have forced on them. So let's recap. So keep in mind that 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, maybe 6 and 7-year-olds, they don't have the skills to handle these problems. They're just not aware of how their actions affect others. So it's our job to give them those tools and to give them the words to say, help them to recognize their feelings and use their words when they're feeling those things. So when there is conflict, stay calm yourself and then be the calm in their chaos. Remain calm. It's easy to get frustrated, but try your hardest to stay calm and be the calm in their chaos. Then help them calm down. Remember, we can't talk to anybody who's in such a worked up emotional state. We've got to get them calmed down before we talk to them and are ineffective in this. So then talk it out. Give each child an opportunity to say what happened without you interrupting and giving directions. Give them their chance to speak. That'll help them to calm even more. And then you want to give them the tools. So help them to use their words. Did you like that when that happened? How did that make you feel? Tell him that. Tell him, I didn't like that. It made me feel sad. Or, when you want something, you have to ask for it first. You can't just take it. So tell sister, I want your car. Can I have that, please? So give them the tools. Give them the words to help them identify their feelings and tell the other person what they feel and what they want. And practice. Do it over and over and over and over. Every time there is one of these situations, walk through this process. It takes a long time, but it's going to feel so much better. It's a much more positive way. You're going to feel better. They're going to feel better than if we just dismissed it and everybody's yelling and stop fighting, give it back, don't treat your sister like that. That's just not what we want to do. We want to say, okay, let's talk about this. Why did this happen? What happened? What could we do instead? How did that make you feel? Tell him how that made you feel. It's going to just put a positive perspective on it, and we're all going to feel a little bit calmer at the end. So hopefully these are things that will help you out when your kiddos are going at each other in all these crazy times of close proximity and lots of time together. So keep those things in mind, and hopefully that will help you out. Thanks for watching.